How y'all are? I'm glad for you to see me. I guarantee it's me, Simon Smith, and I'm back with another wrestling review. This is a TLC for 2020, if you could tell by the name of the live stream. Um, yes, I know I'm about 4 or 5 minutes early. I just figured why not just start early so the bet got over a little bit earlier than what I expected it to. I was expecting it to end right about now. That's why I started my thought to start the stream at 10 after. Um, Opening contest is TLC championship match for the WWE championship. Uh, Drew, Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles. Pretty good match. Is AJ Styles' bodyguard name Almost? Because like uh, Uh, Mike, you just got up on a nap. I don't blame you. I know you're not into watching WWE. Uh, but uh, you know, if you watched Raw, you heard AJ Styles say it might not just be him. Drew's gonna be facing. Uh, which I didn't think much of until the Miz actually cashes in and becomes triple threat TLC match for the championship. Um, Believe it or not, Drew McIntyre ends up defeating both Styles and Miz. Uh, Styles, bodyguard or whatever, I think his name's Almost. Don't quote me on that because I wasn't paying attention to whatever they said his name. Uh, we have a Paul Heyman interview just talking about how Roman's going to win the main event. And that's a fact. That, not a guess. Uh, Next up is a SmackDown Women's Championship match. Sasha and Carmella. Going into this, I actually said I wasn't sure uh, if uh, Carmella would be a good uh, storyline feud. Well, feud is a better word for uh, Sasha coming off the long build up with Bailey. And honestly, this match didn't really live up to the expectations. I honestly just thought it was kind of stupid, wasted my time. Um, of course, Sasha ends up beating Carmella because who the hell would think that Carmella would end up winning this match? Because I know, sure as hell, I wouldn't expect Carmella to win. It was. Don't get me wrong, it was a good match. It what just wasn't for me. Um, Next up is the Raw Tag Team Championships between New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods versus the Hurt Business. Before the match, New Day has a interview about the upcoming match. That they make a comment about Big E being a part, not being a part of New Day again. Um, like uh, I said that I thought New Day was going to win. You know, just you know, just because I'm not a Hurt Business fan, I was wrong on that. The Hurt Business actually ends up winning this match. That was a big shock for me, to tell you the truth. Uh, it was a pretty decent match. You know, Now everybody except MVP is holding gold, which I'm kind of glad MVP is just a manager now and no longer a wrestler because I wasn't really a fan of his wrestling, but I am like a fan of his managing and leading the Hurt Business. I think he's doing a great job with that. Uh, Next up is the Sami Zayn segment talking about like he's a real intercontinental champion or something. I wasn't paying attention to that one. When Sami talks, I usually tune out. Next up is a women's tag team championship match. Nia Jax as Shayna Baszler versus Asuka and her mystery opponent. And, I called this one. I said it was most likely going to be Charlotte Flair, and that's exactly who it was. I don't know if they're watching these uh, live streams or not. Hopefully they are. Uh, but they are becoming kind of predictable, in my opinion. And when I can predict a spot in a match, that just ruins a complete match for me. I don't know about anyone else. Uh, anyway, back to the Charlotte Women's Tag Team Championship match. Asuka and Charlotte end up winning. Nature Boy is ends up watching backstage during the match. They cut to him a few times. Um, Earlier the uh, night, Billy Kay tried to get Asuka to let her be her partner. Uh, and she said one of her credentials was she speaks Japanese, which Asuka then goes and says talking Japanese, which she obviously doesn't know anything she's talking about. And she tells her that the position's already been filled. Uh, Next up is the TLC match for the SmackDown Universal Championship. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. Uh, I picked Roman Reigns going into this. Even though I'm a Kevin Owens fan, I just did see him winning this tonight for the simple fact he was doing something with the Street Profits 1 week. That he was doing something with like the women, someone in the women's division that he was losing, and he just didn't make any sense on why Vince would put him in that spot. Of course, Roman ends up winning with Jey Uso's help. Of course, Kevin Owen ends up uh, taking out Jey Uso and injuring his, uh, believe it was his ankle, which they they worked on the leg in another match earlier in the evening. Uh, Ro- Roman ends up winning, like I was just saying. Main event of the night is the Firefly uh, Inferno match. Uh, the Bean versus Randy Orton. In the beginning of this match, I was like, after they got introduced, I'm like, where the hell is uh, Flames? I thought the Flames were supposed to be surrounding the ring and on fire during the match. It took a little bit before, Bray, them wrestling and Bray Wyatt getting uh, the upper hand. He raises his hands up, and the fire comes up around the barricade. I'm like, well, that's a new way of doing it. Give them a little bit more space to work with, other than just inside the ring. At least now they can go outside the ring and brawl and um, have a good time. Uh, which this was a quick match to say the least. Uh, but very intense. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Uh, I picked the Fiend to win this. Uh, the but Randy Orton ends up winning this. Uh, just, I wasn't sure how they were gonna set either one of them on fire going into it. You know, Randy wasn't in his normal wrestling attire. He was in like a sweatshirt and pants, and Bray Wyatt just had kept his jacket on, and that's actually how they got him to catch Bray Wyatt on fire. It's having Wyatt keep on the uh, jacket. What after the Fiend gets lit on fire, Randy brings him back into the ring, RKO's him. Uh, that then he goes outside, gets the gas can, throws the gas on the bead, lights it, and lights the bead on fire. That's how they go off the air. the one of the spots during the match I actually enjoyed was when the Bean threw the or into the rocking chair after he threw gas on it and almost set him on fire that way. Uh, that was like a good, good innovative way to try to set someone on fire. Um, anyone in the chat? What's your thoughts on tonight? Because I would say if I had to rate it, I would give it like a 7 out of 10. It was actually a pretty enjoyable match. Well, night I should say. Um, most of it for the most, some of it was a little bit boring. The opening TLC match, I real up to when Miz cashed in, I'm like, I didn't really care. Then Miz cashed in, I'm like, well, I thought he'd cash it in after the match, after Drew won, and then have Drew lose to him after winning the TLC match. I was surprised that they actually had uh, the Miz cash in during the match. Uh, uh, yeah, the first two matches were decent. Uh, yeah, the rest of the show was pretty good. Good. I was enjoying it. Uh, you got uh, what? Did you think that the Miz was actually going to be able to cash in tonight, or do you think he was actually going to wait? Because I thought I would have waited until the match was over. Um, I would like to. I don't know where they're going to go from here, but hopefully, they do something good out of these storylines. The I saw on Twitter that Charlotte's now Grand Slam champion, winning all the women's championships, which is pretty cool. That I didn't know that was the only one she didn't have. For some reason, I thought she was missing one of the other women's championships. Guess I was wrong on that too. Um, if uh, I wonder what's going to be happening tomorrow night on Raw. Um, because how much, you know, what are they going to have the Miz do about him catching in the bank? Yeah, hopefully, hopefully, the Miz will actually end up uh, doing his typical heel stick and complain about how he didn't get to be in the match, or like find some way to complain about it, because I have a good feeling that that's how it's actually gonna end up. Is tomorrow night him and Morrison's gonna go on Raw and say how something somehow during the match and what's worked against them, and he just wasn't gonna, and he wants a rematch or a match for the title, you know, because that's how Miz basically is. I am a Miz fan. Uh, I was hoping he would actually cash it after Drew McIntyre won the match, because if he did cash it during the match, I think that McIntyre would have won, and then had Miz come down and win, because I was hoping Miz would win myself. Um, I'm gonna end the live stream right about here because there's not much more wrestling content to talk about. Um, so until next time, please make sure you spread peace and love. I love you all.